Well, hello people, and welcome back to part 45 of Illium, our modded Cities 1 build. I hope you're having a wonderful day. Last episode, we set up a car factory to sit in tandem with our Formula 1 circuit, which was such a compliment for each build. This eastern bay of Illium is really turning into one of my favourite parts of the city. But with so much industry over the last few episodes, definitely time for some more residential expansion. And there's a really lovely space here where we set up a ferry network a few episodes ago, with some road frames that went in during the factory episode. I think we've got the perfect spot here for a little bit of waterfront tourism, close to the airport and the Formula 1 circuit. Can definitely envision people coming here after a race day. So happy Monday to you all, and welcome back to Illium, everyone. Alright guys, so we've got a really fun place to play with on the waterfront here. Helping divided by this one-lane coupler system flowing through the area. So let's get started by mapping out some roads here up against the coastline, shall we? And this area is going to become quite the district, so I'm happy for this road here to continue into the 81 tile boundary, which I think is just going to be a general expansion of suburbia. We're right by the tile boundary here, so we'll see what we can do with it. So I'm going to connect into the coupler system in a few places. I don't want lots of it, but some of it is okay. And we can finally turn on the ferry stop over here as well. Of course, this is our closed internal loop in this eastern bay. No, that's the external one, isn't it? This one's the closed one. Which I might change the vehicle just to distinguish between the two of them. Drop down to 70 on that one, I think. Sweet. So over here, this is, I think, really going to remind us a lot today of Atlantic City. We've got a full graveyard over there as well. But for those of you that followed Rannoch quite a while ago now, if there's any of you left, let me know down in the comments if the Rannoch gang still exists. But yeah, it's going to remind me a lot of Atlantic City from that particular city development, especially with the airport in close proximity as well, right? So I want lots of tourism here. I think we can start that vibe out with a stadium of some kind. So the city only has 2 arenas at the minute, which is quite low for us. And we tend to place these buildings quite frequent and often. Of course, we use Bad Peanuts Sports Venues Pack. And I'm not after like a major arena here, it's not that big. And we could go with the Tinderbox Stadium. Yeah, I think I can see where I wanted to sit there, right? Just in the crook of the road. Yeah, this is going to be another major tourist drawing asset. So I think if anything, the trains at the Formula 1 circuit are only going to get more intense after today. We'll bring a road up for it. That does actually give it a connection, but we'll design something a little more elaborate around the front, I think. Now, the reason I've chose this asset is because I want to do quite a lot of this, I think. So we're going to create probably a few pedestrian overpasses, and maybe a fairly elaborate system using just elevated pedestrian walking pathways today. This will carry on into the next suburb, which we won't work on today because this is too big an area to fill really for one episode. And there's not that much in the mountains over here, is there? So, and again, there probably is room for a mountaintop build over here. Maybe up this valley, we'll head that way. But either way, point being, we'll be over here for a little bit, yeah, as we develop this eastern bay. And before we get stuck back into the eastern downtown, although I have also teased heading back toward the ocean soon. So, there's a lot of builds coming up, everyone. I want to align a non-parking road here. So of course, with any arena facility build, we want the visual of repetitive mass car parking. So we'll do a couple of multi-stories, and we'll also have some ground parking present in the build as well. And I'm going to change these to the kind of cladding skin that they have on them. Very nice. And then that's going to tuck in really nicely there, isn't it? And we'll do height corrections here. Not bothered about playing with super flat, but certainly around assets. I just want everyone to be the same height, I think. And will Anarchy actually allow me to snap into the middle of these path nodes here? I mean, I could do it anyway and they'd probably still work. So I think we will. So I'm pretty happy with that there, I think. Now let's carry on our tourism vibes. Of course, we'll dive into the wonderful world of unique buildings, for which there's quite a few we can use today. Certainly in After Dark, we'll take the casino. Might even take the driving range here too. So the casino, perfect accompaniment to any nightlife build, isn't it? And speaking to that vibe, let's also grab ourselves some hotel stuff too. Now, I'm happy for some taller buildings to be present. So we'll have an actual hotel. And we'll also do maybe a budget hotel down here. It's actually going to sit and fit, isn't it? Which is very nice. Have that here down on the corner. I'd also like the whole waterfront to be walkable as well. I don't think I'm going to do quays here. I think I'll just leave it natural shoreline. Don't want it to be as developed as something as the downtown waterfront is. I reckon with a little bit of network multi-tool, we can get rid of that fence there. And then just push that fence up so it's tickling the back of the casino. Right, and then it can sort of almost function as the hotel that's associated with the casino, I think. So we'll have that there. Let's carry on fleshing out our right unique buildings. I think I'm going to go with a couple of King Leno's big box malls and shopping centres here. Quite happy with that one. I'd love to have some frontage systems here. In fact, we might even end up duplicating that unique building. Let's bring this down right to the forefront, and then we'll just cul-de-sac it at the end. And then if I did duplicate this, I do feel a bit cheeky sometimes duplicating unit buildings. I feel like because I've spent so many thousands of hours in vanilla, it feels a little bit like I'm breaking the rules. But we can double this up. It might not be the most immaculate fusing due to branding being exposed. Maybe we just do that instead. Quite a brutalist little structure, this thing, isn't it? And we'll grab all the nodes. We'll set to the same height as the original building here. And again, the orientation of brand exposed to major arterial road, right? Definitely lots of advertising going on here as you come past Hamilton's. Let's definitely get a plaza in as well as we continue to evict the local wildlife. Got a couple of foxes over here. And how about this corner asset as well from Shops of Shibuya? You could certainly pass that off as another shopping centre, couldn't you? Which I think it is, isn't it? Yeah, it's a department store. But I think that'll sit really nicely on that corner, won't it? Especially with the casino over here. I don't want this to just be all unique buildings though, so we'll also dip into the wonderful world of leisure commercial. And then certainly a few tourism towers around here as well. Just the occasional hotel. Again, absolutely nothing taller than this plopped hotel here either, which is not really meeting its demands. It wants a little bit more shopping, which it will certainly get as things go on here. So we've got another little spot for a perfect car park there. Oh, we got people walking down here. Are you guys coming from the ferries? Oh, you are. Hello, people. Isn't that fun? 64 already. So, there's 6 coming from here. Yeah, there's not an enormous amount of people moving off that one. It's got to be off that closed internal loop then, has it? Are people finally arriving from the train station over here? Oh, yes, they are. Look at that. Isn't that nice? Make sure the ferry can actually clear that backlog. Actually backed by some of my favourite detailing in the city with the little ramps around here. Very nice, that, isn't it? But that is perfect, everyone. See the advantage of future prepping your public transit lines? He immediately fills up. I think maybe we could do with a 4th ferry here. Because 2 ferries are already full, and this one's already about to fill again. I think maybe 1 more. Oh, yes, hello, people. Oh, hello, people. Look at that. And everyone, just a gentle reminder, this is why we're all here. That's great, isn't it? That's much busier than I ever anticipated it to be. Hello, train traffic. Why are you back again? Optimized outside connections is on. Just silly dead train, is it? Have we had a little AI fart here, have we? I don't know why he's doing that. Maybe this junction here is too small. I think it probably is, isn't it? This length of segment here from station to the junction. There's that train that got stuck. So we need to still tweak this, don't we? But tremendous news. In fact, there's already even more people waiting now for that ferry back across. To get them around this area, I would like to have some more arterial systems so we can have some buses flowing. So let me get rid of that. And this node, you're going to flow, I think, essentially straight out. That's eventually going to plug into here, of course. I think he's going to behave as bridge as we come up to cross over. Something like this. Final heights to be refined, etc. That goes up and likely going that way. Again, to possibly link in with another interchange down here, just some simple slip ramps so you can see this going that way into these areas. I'm probably serving that mountain road we spoke about at the start of the episode as well. But what this will allow me to do is just give me some road infrastructure that we can send some buses down to. We could do a little roundabout system here. I'm happy with the very simple one-lane couplet. That's just going to guide people through the suburb back to the highway interchange if that's what they want to do. Now, if we're going to have a little bit of a bus hub here, I think it certainly makes sense. In orbit of the stadium seems most appropriate, and especially by the ferry station here. So yeah, I think we'll do that, and then I can see where ye old faithful airport apron is just going to want to do some really weird snapping there. There we go. And then we'll just copy and paste this. So the back of the bus station just pops out a little bit, okay? And we can have this big plaza straight out the front of the ferry stop, commercial, props, etc. Lots of fun and games to be had with this one, right? So we'll set up our first bus line, and this is just going to run from our station here. So we'll have it stop outside the stadium, come up here past... which way do I want to send this, actually? Yeah, I can see where this is going to go. So we'll come down past the hotels, stop here. It can get on the couplet system. It can stop there with walking pathways eventually into whatever build sits here. And then I'd like you to pay a little visit to the Formula 1 circuit. How are you going to turn around here, though? Where do you want to go? You go into the station there, do you? Yeah, so turn around at the Formula 1 circuit. You might as well stop here by some of the factories as well. And then come down, stopping every other block or so. And then back in to this one here. I'm going to make this a double-decker bus, as I imagine it's going to be quite busy. I've got a red line here as well. And look at that. Hello ferry people. Pretty much all of them immediately making their way down that road. The walkability of the stadium district. Exactly how I want that to function, right? Perfect. The point of plugging in this stadium to all 6 corners, essentially. To continue placing assets down our main road, I think we're going to go for one of the campus museums here again, which is a really nicely extendable asset, where we can see similar things happening here with some pedestrian pathway. Now, they will actually use the back of this asset. They'll connect to a pathway here and actually use it to move around. I'll bring that in and get straight down here. And again, this will allow us to turn all this space into lots of really nice walking area. Especially with some of these little artsy installations along the side too. Okay, I think I can even justify a slightly fancier road here. Let's go for something with medium, because we're getting quite a bit of grey. And I'll just have that on these segments here. Bring in some California tall palm. Very nice. Again, I can just see where my concrete's beginning to warp at this point. I'm just going to do a little local set to heights, so we're not getting any bending in the terrain there. Getting so many people are walking down here. There's not a match day on either. I think they're just using it. Oh no, there is about to be a match day. They are starting to gather. But some people are just using it to get through to the road. It's not always just matched at going fans. Are you okay, fairy line? What's up with you? Why is your line broke? Oh, there we go. Oh, because I changed the height, maybe? Yeah, I think it messed it up, doesn't it? So let's begin to bring in some more commercial. Again, don't want unique buildings everywhere. And I think Leno's shopping mall pack is going to be pretty much perfect here. So placing a selection of our favourites. Some of the vanilla commercial would probably work for this sort of stuff, but honestly, nothing really beats a King Leno's shopping mall's shop front, does it? They're just such nice modern assets. Now, I don't just want people to be able to play here. I think particularly like to blend in a Green Cities high density complex, particularly with the art gallery, because it's quite a green, sleek, modern looking asset, as a lot of the Green Cities apartments are. I think we'll go for 2 of these, and then position them into a bit of an L shape. So we're looking something like this. Everyone will remain connected there. And then we can have some apartment car parking tucked in. Service paints where appropriate. And then all this walkable plaza can just extend around. Have another Green Cities apartment in here. And then maybe something a little bit more modern as well. And again, just because this road hasn't been height set, just grab all local nodes again and set to the uniform height of this node here. There we go. Let's bring in lots of trees around here too. Actually not sure if the art gallery is a loud building. A little bit. I mean, it's more the stadium that's causing the noise pollution, but they should just be out of the threshold of that to be happy. Yeah, I think they're a really nice complement to the art gallery, aren't they? Just a really nice modern building. Comes with quite a lot of green on it as well, which I think is why it sits quite nicely with the Green Cities apartments behind it, isn't it? So some nice waterfront apartments, which again, this is almost going to form its own little mini skyline, isn't it? Especially from this perspective, as the, this is your skyline, and that's the skyline over there that she told you not to worry about, isn't it? Oh, I've also just noticed an error in my bus system here. I am going to have to actually change that connection, because the bus is actually looping the other way around. There we go, now it's fine. Because that bus line's actually connecting to an intercity and internal train as well. Really interesting just to see how many F1 tourists want to use that bus. Oh, hello people. There's quite a lot of people driving in, which is unusual really, although it's mostly service vehicles. Why is there so much police? Oh my god. What the hell's going on? And if anything, it's very thematic. There's usually a lot of security at these places, but even I'll admit this is an unusual amount of police cars. What's going on? Where are you going? They're just driving through. This is very peculiar. You're just going to deal with crime in the circuit, are you? There's loads of them. I don't know why they're doing that. There's not even that much crime over here, is there? I haven't seen any crime warnings. No, but there is an actual race day on. I wonder if that's correlated in some way from the simulation. Because there's going to be more people here. The game wants to send more police cars. I can't say I've ever noticed that before. I mean, what are you all doing? Loading. I mean, they're from all different police stations. Intelligence Agency, Brutalist Police Station, Police Headquarters. It's a coordinated citywide police operation. Very interesting. But it's not why I'm over here. I actually want to check the bus ridership here. Yeah, so few people. Obviously nowhere near as busy as the train station, which is nearly at 400 a week here. Or 500 even. And I have to say, I'm very much enjoying that view there, right? I think those towers made a little difference, just a few little pops of height along the coastline there. Really happy with how that's beginning to look with all that racing infrastructure in the foreground there. To address these little peninsulas, I think we can certainly have a lot of fun here. Let's come ahead into... I don't want to do park gates here. I think I might do. So we'll have a small park main gate. Now, I'm not bothered about making money out of this, but I will have park entrances. But if they want to cut back onto the road, not via a gate, I'm happy with that. So his whole waterfront can become park. We'll take that up to the ferry as well, I think. And then we'll have a secondary gate a little further down here, just on the junction. Do some node controller here as well. Just so looks a little nicer. And then we'll feed these together, I think, with amusement park pathway. Give us a little bit of pop of red. And then here we'll get a nice gazebo in. Lots of park attraction, playgrounds, etc. A couple of park cafes. And then just some nice little coastal trees. Serve as a nice little kind of green belt barrier, if you like. Bring in some park fencing too. We'll have this run on the road. And then I'm just going to nudge my park gate along so it sits flush with what is essentially prop fencing from the node perspective here. I actually wouldn't even mind feeding this pedestrian pathway with the red. Almost as if, you know, once you're in this bit of the town, you can follow the red pathway, which will walk you to the Formula 1 circuit. If you don't want to walk on the bus, right? So you can imagine lots of signage here, pointing people down the coastline. And there is already some people walking on this little highway access road. So maybe that'll carry on sending more people down there. But I'm pretty happy with how things are coming along here. I think we're ready for some mass detailing. Got lots of back alley work to fill out behind all this commercial here. And things to respect, things like, you know, the dumpsters, the car parking, and maybe some extra walking pathways through here that link into behind the casino. You know, all this asset looks like it can have expanded walking infrastructure at the back, doesn't it? And really allow kind of the back of all these buildings in this block to kind of complement one another. I think we'll have a lot of fun with that. And detail up the whole perimeter of the stadium. And then also just carry on fleshing out more custom city blocks that are just commercial, residential, general sort of, you know, tourism town expansion here up to a point. And detail up the roads and the shore and everything else around it. As again, I'm possibly enjoying this eastern bay more than I've enjoyed anything else in the city. Of course, the downtown was a lot of fun to work with. But in terms of generic town outside of the downtown, the eastern bay here is turning into a real treat, isn't it? A lot of fun with a little mini tourism skyline. But either way, grab yourself some snacks and we'll be right back with Illium detailing time-lapse. Alright guys, let's take a look around the waterfront of the now named Owsley, shall we? Wonderful tier 3 patron, Michelle Owsley. Thank you for your support, Michelle. Yeah, real secret blend of the old herbs and spices. Either way, we'll start out by our highway interchange here, where we have our usual palette of overgrowth against these couplet systems, and then lots of fence lining as it passes through the town as well. With the Lenovo pass also getting a touch of use, people using it to walk in around the stadium grounds here. There's several billboards around the site. You'll see a little triangle of them over here as well. Just by the car parks here. Right, loads of car parking around our attractions. Malls, etc. all sat really nicely on this frontage. It's a really cute little kind of mini condensed skyline, isn't it? All crescending up to this hotel in the middle. Which is such a really nice reflection of the actual downtown skyline across the way. I actually wonder if we can see this skyline from the downtown waterfront. If we were to tuck ourselves in here. Yeah, you can see it from here, can't you? Just past the airport. I really like that. Yeah, the sense of distance in the mid to late game of CS is always so welcome, isn't it? A lot of fun to build it out. Either way, over here, the city block visual has completed. Lots of complementary back alley buildings all happening through here. Mix of pretty much everything, emerging downtowns, Africa in miniature. Shops of Shibuya, vanilla, Art Deco. There's loads of commercial buildings in here. Just a nice little dense city block. With our residential up here as well, all tucked into a big tree art complex. Went with some of the flower plazas from plazas and promenades, which sit really nicely in and around the art museum here, don't they? So I really love this street front. And I think shopping malls goes really well with the gallery too. Nice little street, more billboards heading into the stadium grounds where you can see people moving around into one of the decorated plazas. Then we have the Lazarette Plaza here, shelters, benches, bollards against the road, 2 functioning commercial buildings. With the bus over here, the rest of the bus stops here are probably going to take people over to this side of the map at some point. But yeah, it'll be a while before we get over there yet. So yeah, plenty of public transit expansion since there's no trains or metro or trams over here, so we'll rely on the buses. And indeed the ferries, which are moving hundreds of people for us. What's it up to now? 148 here. And back over this one. 140 as well. And with so many people choosing to take this train station, which is 417. So even though this is just a small little minuscule area of the city on the back of a train station, it's generating some of the busiest walking we've seen. I genuinely didn't even think it'd get this busy, but it's yeah, just really nice point of scurry. So cool to see the Eastern Ferry Network kicking in. I imagine one day this stop will be as busy. Once it's active, of course. Now, of course, I'm really happy for the expanded ferry infrastructure in Illium. Been a key theme of the city along with the monorails, hasn't it? Wonderful stuff. Lots of landscaping and open fertile grass. Used a bit of surface paint, so it's quite dark grass over here. And also a bunch of screens as well. Maybe they can show the score, or you know, a calendar of upcoming events. Just some general screenage in the grounds of a stadium. Where we have our park coming up here. And plenty of people also choosing to walk along the waterfront as well. And indeed enjoying views from that gazebo across to the other side of the city. At the bus stopping here. A few people using it to get about. And then there's many attraction here. Bumper cars, Ferris wheel, casino. There's detailing behind here. Now you can actually see where we have a pathway anchored through the building. As if they're walking through the department store. With bench and container, trash detailing behind the inner city back alleyways, if you like, of Owsley. Which brings us back to our stadium, hotel rather. And then there's some really nicely shaped building corners here, I think. Authentic alleyways cutting through. And just a little city centre block. Car parking in there, a few vehicles behind, extra dumpsters. Just to give purpose to those back end spaces. All rounded off with a nice corner asset, for which the most of this is high density commercial. I decided to go with here, and just for a bit of a medium density pop. It gives us a really cute little tasteful skyline, doesn't it? Really like how this sits together. And the whole mix of DLCs, vanilla, Hearts of Korea's in there, After Dark. A lot of fun. And then here, our park continues with tables, toilets, smaller expanded cafe spaces, little kiosks by the little cul-de-sac road here if you want to just, you know, pull over by the coast, and hang out in the eastern bay of Illium. Maybe gulp at some of the rather impressive transit infrastructure taking everyone into the downtown from here, right? It's always a lot of fun to create these little spaces, isn't it? Which then brings us back to our hotel, and ultimately back to some more car parking and palm lining as the town of Owlsley very much begins next to last episode's car factory. So yeah, really cute, pretty simple build today, but again, we needed some nice, just general town expansion after so much industry last episode. Indeed, the episode before that as well with the oil depot. And then it wasn't long before that we had farming, so we've had quite a lot of industry recently. How's that tram doing over here now? Have a look. What sort of people are using it? Is that the bus stop? That's the bus, isn't it? Let's see how many people get off this streetcar here. Yeah, a few. Not the busiest line I've ever created, but there's not a huge amount of people actually living over here, to be fair, so it wouldn't be really. And I think the changes we made at the roundabout last episode, everyone's happy with this. I didn't see any comments to say, Egg, you left the wrong turn in here. And yeah, it is getting busier around here again, though. Significantly busier down this way, actually. There's a lot of traffic around the port and the train station here, isn't there? A lot of people waiting for that bus as well. Yeah, look at that. That's a really busy stop, isn't it? A fair few of them are actually taking the metro, to be fair. Yeah, it's a big, busy, old city these days, isn't it, Illium? It's grown up very quickly. In only 45 episodes, it seems we've filled just an enormous amount of space here. Otherwise, guys, that'll do it for today. Let's thank you all so much for watching. A massive shout out to the YouTube members and patrons that bankroll these videos. With a roll call to our Golden Egg patrons: Casino, Spartan Angel, Michael W, Wolfo, Sebastian, Phoenix ND, Jamin, Great C, Rizzy, Sean, Trevor Larson, and John Mittak. Thank you so much indeed for all of your incredible support. If you want to get involved in that, links are down in the video description. I'm still getting just as much enjoyment out of Illium into these more late game episodes now, as we're starting to fill quite a lot of the 25 tile spaces. What I mentioned earlier and a few episodes ago, I wouldn't mind getting over to the ocean in the not too distant future. So since we've been over in the east for quite a few episodes now, maybe we'll break for the ocean next time and start crawling up that peninsula to an eventual international airport eventually. Either way, enjoy today's cinematics, and I'll thank you all so much for watching, and as always, enjoy the rest of your day.